Greetings YouTube and welcome to the Dragon Network. In today's video I've got for you guys another deck profile, and it's going to be on Chaos Dragon's Pre-HA7 because once that set comes out, much like with Hieratics, this deck is going to struggle due to the fact that Evil Swarm Ophion is a thing and that deck will see lots of play. I will admit though that Chaos Dragons have a better chance at coping thanks to Raikou. That card is, well, it pretty much requires them to have Forbidden Dress in the deck in order to handle, otherwise they have to like preemptively use Safe Zone. And you could always pop that with an MST or something. Main decking MST is definitely going to be required in this deck. I would not go without the card anymore. And then also in that set, we're going to be getting Constellar Ptolemy M7, and that card can do some crazy shenanigans. I'm not going to lie. You can detach a Pulsar to put like a Dark Arm that got milled back into your hand and then drop it, or better yet, a BLS that might have gotten hit by Torrential. You can just use Ptolemy M7 to put the BLS into your hand, and then you just drop it and do shit. So, you know, this deck will still see some play. It's just it'll be harder to use due to the fact that Evil Swarm will be a thing. That being said, I will go over the contents of my build at this time, and it consists of triple Pulsar Dragon, triple Dark Flare Dragon, Eclipse Wyvern, Red Eyes, and Dark Arm Dragon. So the basic dragon lineup is unchanged. Then you've got Blackluster Soldier and Chaos Sorcerer. These are broken cards. This is unfair. It's dumb. It wins games it shouldn't win. It should not be around. But the fact of the matter is that the game has become so derp that even cards like Blackluster Soldier are not that bad in comparison. It is pretty disturbing. And once Elemental Dragons come out, I don't even know if Chaos Dragons are going to be even playable due to the fact that Elemental Dragons do everything that Chaos Dragons do, but far more consistently. Like, it just drops big beaters left and right, but it can also do shit like rank 7 spam or light and darkness spam. And yeah, Chaos Dragons, whereas, is just hoping to mill good and then start doing shit from there. So, I don't know. In a direct head-to-head matchup, I wonder just which deck will truly be superior. Anyway, Lightsworn Engine. Triple Lila, triple Raikou. Yeah, I would not cut Raikou's down any further than, just the 3 because they're going to be rather helpful in the very future. And then 2 Trooper, I've always liked the 2 Trooper. I always seem to like mill 1 with my Lilas or my recharges, so I'd rather have the second one to start milling things. And Trooper and the Trag has always been a fun play. Then the Tour Guide Engine, 2 Tour Guides and a Nihilist in it. I wouldn't run anything else. No Dark Mimic level 3. Just run the 2 Tour Guides, summon the 2 Tour Guides. If you draw 1, then just summon the Night Assailant. And if you draw both Tour Guides, then summon the other one from your hand, if need be, if you've already used the Night Assailant. And then, triple Necro Gardener. This was something I picked up from an article on Core TCG where Robert Boyajian highlighted that Necro Gardener, aside from being a very good mill target, is a dark, so you can pitch it in a light for like Pulsar, and it allows you to survive potential game-winning turns because you can just negate the attack. And there have been quite some times where I've used this to negate an attack from like a Reaper or a Fire Dog or a Bear or something like that. Plus, he's a level 3, so you can overlay it with your Card Trooper to make a rank 3, and you can always bring it back with Levier for even more defense. Then for our hand traps, 2 Trags and a Gorz. And that's pretty much it. Admittedly, I could drop the Necro Gardeners for a pair of Maxi, and then one other random card that I don't know what it would be, but it would have to be another monster, because I wouldn't want to up my spell count to any more than it already is. Ah, right. I know what I was going to do. Tsukiyomi. That card's going to be actually a little helpful for Evil Swarms and whatnot, so you can just summon Tsukiyomi, put the Ophion down, since their only out to it would be a Veiler or a Phoenix Chain. And you could always space the Phoenix Chain. Of course, they could always have the out to this and the... I just want to say it's a little annoying when people start doing, oh, well, I have the out to this. Well, guess what? I have the counter out to this. Oh, yeah, well, I've got the counter out to that. Oh, yeah, well, I can counter that with that. I can counter that with that. I can counter that with that. Just, okay, fine, we get the point. There are outs to this. There are outs to that. Yeesh. Just, yeah, I had to get that off my chest. Alright, spells. Triple MST, because blowing up back row is rather important. Blowing up Macrocosmos is rather important. 2 recharges, and instead of the 3rd recharge, I'm running on a lure because I have a much higher dark count. And those times where you'll just draw your 2 tour guides and your Night Assailant, you're like, well, I guess I might as well just allure the tour guide and whatnot. So Well, granted, you could still summon the tour guide from your hand and drop an assailant, but I also would like to thin through my deck by 2 cards. You can also banish a Necrogardna, a Dark Flare, a Dark Arm Dragon that might have too many darks in the graveyard, etc., etc., etc. So, yeah, I like the 2 recharges and 1 Echo Core better than the 3 recharges. Then for the 1-ups, 1 charge, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Heavy, and 1 Monster Reborn. I find it really funny how the unlimited secret rare charge of Light Brigade is less than $10, whereas the first edition is almost 20. Yeesh. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll get the unlimited edition then. I don't care if it's unlimited or not. It's still a secret rare charge of the Light Brigade. And then lastly, my only 2 traps, Breakthrough Skill. Am I running this over Veiler? Because even if you mill this, you can still use it to negate an Abyss Gaios on the field. And Abyss Gaios is kind of a problem. Your only real out to it is Blackluster Soldier. And obviously, you can't expect to always have Blackluster Soldier. At least I can't expect to have Blackluster Soldier. I'm not one of those pro Chaos Dragon players who open the nuts consistently. No, sometimes I actually have to work for my wins. And Breakthrough Skill allows me to do that. I can always use it to negate a monster effect, and then during my turn I can remove it to negate another monster effect. Or you can just mill it and use it to negate a monster effect on when you really need to. There have been a couple times where my opponent will have a giant Trag on the board. Well, I'll just remove Breakthrough Skill from my graveyard, summon my Blackluster Soldier, because there are times where I will actually have that combo, and then proceed to do 6,000 damage, and then it was good. And that's it for the main deck. No side deck. I don't really have one for Chaos Dragons at this moment, but I do have an extra deck for you, and it is a glorious extra deck because it's running the Birthday Candle. Why am I running Gustav Max? Well, I have Tragodia, and I have a red med that's quite searchable. So there have been times where I will have a Tragodia on the board with red eyes. I'll swing with both. My opponent's got nothing. Very well. Main phase 2. Make Gustav Max. Win a game. I've won at least 5 out of 10 games through using Gustav Max? Like, no, not 10 games. It was much, I think it was 5 out of 15. Okay, so maybe a third of my games I'll drop Gustav Max, but it's still very nice because there are going to be those situations where you will be able to make it. It's about as more frequent as, say, your rank 5, since your rank 5s are going to be done specifically through double Dark Flare plays. And then for our 1 rank 7, because we run rank 6s and rank 5s, a Tomb, there's those times where you'll have 2 Pulsars, so you put them together, you detach the Pulsar to summon Red Eyes, and you revive the Red Eyes, and you're just kind of set from there. Then you got your rank 6 engine of, yeah, these guys. Excalibur and Bouncer. The Excalibur plus Pulsar play is still pretty good. Rank 5s consists of Tiraz and Volcasaurus. I probably could run an Adris, but I cut him so I could fit in not only Queen Dragon Jin, but Maestroke. There are those rare times where you'll need to like go onto the defensive with this guy, and he's a dark. And Queen Dragon Jin is just nuts with Pulsar, and just a very good card in general. Then for the rank 3s, the 1 Tempo to knock materials, Levier, Zemains, Leviathan, Giga Brilliant, and Acid Golem. I still like Giga Brilliant in the deck. Being able to pump up my guys by 300 can lead to some rather interesting pushes. Having a Queen Dragon Jin or a Light Pulsar Dragon at 300 more attack. A Pulsar with 2000 attack allows it to bump heads with a 2000 beater, like an opposing Red Eyes, and then summon a Red Eyes who then swings for more damage. Or putting Red Eyes to 3100 attack. That's actually rather useful. So yeah, that's why I like Giga Brilliant and my Chaos Dragons. Plus he's a light, and being able to tour guide into a light monster is rather helpful. So yeah, that is it for my Chaos Dragons pre-Hidden Arsenal 7. I'll probably play this deck a couple more times post-Hidden Arsenal 7, then once the Elemental Dragons come out, then we'll see if this deck even is worth playing at all. What are your thoughts on Chaos Dragons as we head into an environment where the deck is going to be seeing a lot more hate against it? It's definitely been quite resilient, and I'll definitely still occasionally see play here and there, but ultimately, I don't know. I just don't know. That being said, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, stay frosty.